Why are Node.js uncaught exceptions hard to debug? Imagine working on a project where errors pop up unexpectedly and leave you scratching your head. That's what happens with uncaught exceptions in Node.js, and it can be pretty frustrating. These errors are tricky because they slip past your usual error handling methods and end up bubbling up to the event loop without warning. When that happens, your application might go into an unstable state, making it hard to find out where the problem started. In Node.js, an uncaught exception happens when an error occurs during code execution but isn't caught by a try-catch block or an error handler. When this occurs, Node.js emits an event called Uncaught Exception on the process object. By default, Node.js will print the error stack trace to the console and then shut down the process. This safety feature prevents the app from running in a broken state, but it also means you lose a lot of context about what went wrong. Node.js runs on a single thread, which means that a single uncaught error can crash the entire application. Unlike multi-threaded environments, where errors can stay isolated, in Node.js, the whole process is affected. This makes debugging more urgent because you need to fix the issue quickly to keep your app running smoothly. Many Node.js programs relying heavily on asynchronous code like callbacks, promises, and async functions. Errors in asynchronous code don't behave the same as synchronous errors. For example, try-catch blocks only catch errors that happen immediately. If an error occurs inside a callback or a promise that isn't handled, it becomes an uncaught exception. This separation makes it harder to trace the source of the error, because the stack trace might only show where the error was thrown, not the sequence of asynchronous calls that led to it. When an uncaught exception reaches the event loop, much of the original context can be lost. The stack trace might point to the line where the error was thrown but not reveal the chain of events that caused it. This is especially true if the error originated deep inside nested callbacks or promise chains. Developers can attach a global handler for uncaught exceptions, but this is mainly for logging or cleanup. Relying on this for debugging can be risky because the application is likely to shut down afterward. Once an uncaught exception occurs, Node.js exits the process by default. This means you often don't get a chance to inspect the app state after the error. Without additional logging or debugging tools, it's tough to figure out what went wrong or how to fix it. To make debugging easier, it's best to handle errors as close to their source as possible. Use try-catch blocks around synchronous code and attach catch methods to promises. Also, consider using debugging tools that can capture stack traces before the process terminates. In summary, uncaught exceptions in Node.js are hard to debug because they bypass normal error handling, often lose context due to asynchronous execution, and cause the app to shut down unexpectedly. To troubleshoot effectively, you need to handle errors proactively, especially in asynchronous code, and use logging and debugging tools to gather as much information as possible before the process exits.